Hello, this is Mr. Evilcheese, and this is my review of the Star Wars Black Series Luke Skywalker in Stormtrooper Disguise. And I've already reviewed the Han in Stormtrooper, so I'll be doing a comparison of them. And so here's the package, and there's some art of him up there in the corner. This is number 12 Luke Skywalker. I don't know how they're doing these number things. And there's some art on the back. They don't have a little story. Aren't they supposed to have a little story? It says, one time, Luke Skywalker dressed up as a stormtrooper for some reason, and then he was trying to save his sister, but he didn't know it was his sister. And then he got flushed down the toilet into this garbage place, and then it tried to crush him. But before it tried to crush him, there's like this little penis hiding in the garbage, had an eyeball on it, and a little tentacle that wrapped around him and was pulling it towards him, probably. I don't know what penis with eyeballs are going to do to you when they grab you with their tentacles. But he was going to get crushed. And then he escaped, and then switched back to his normal clothes, and that was the end of this day. Sorry about that. I just had to add a story because they didn't have one. And what is this? Age, E-Dad, Daddy, what? I don't remember seeing that on there before. See, here's this one. It just says age +4, but then they got all these other languages on this one. What, did I get an international one or something? I don't know. All right, well, let's open this guy up now. There, can you tell which one's Luke? It's the little short one. He's not much shorter, but he's still the shortest one. So that's really cool that they made him a short for a stormtrooper. That was something I was really hoping they'd do, and they did it. I kind of would like him to be just a tiny bit shorter, so it's more noticeable, but still, it's good. He's shorter, I'm happy. You can really see the difference in shortness like around the stomach area. Although it's like a slightly different sculpt too. Like there's a few noticeable differences if you're looking closely. But like the belt is just around the torso area, it just looks shorter. And then another difference is like the straps up here, or whatever you call them, the top part on the shoulder. If you can see on Luke's, it's like the sculpting of it's like a ribbed sculpting. You can see a little more than you can on this one. Like there, it's like almost smooth. So that's a slight difference. Another difference about the belts is that Luke's has a different type of belt. See, he's got this like weird little device on the back of his. He doesn't have this thing. And any other differences? There's some differences over here too, it looks like. Just little slight differences in the belts. It looks like that's probably where you can stick that little communicator thing he came with. So that's cool. It's not the exact same figure. Another difference is Luke does not have a peg hole in his back to stick a backpack. Another thing that's cool, I think this helmet's a little closer to looking like one of the regular stormtroopers than Han's is, because Han's got that sort of elongated looking face. But it seems like Luke's isn't like that. So I don't know. It does seem like it's a different sculpt of helmet than Han's is, unless they just somehow got squished on one of them during the process of making it. I don't know. But here's the little communicator he comes with. Thing's really freaking tiny, stormtroopers. It's really tiny, so it's gonna be hard to show you this. There, that works. I stuck it on his belt. So you can see that little communicator. And you can stick it in his hand, and you can call C-3PO and be like, the penis monster's trying to crush me. So here's a look at Luke with his helmet off. And this head looks like it's pretty much the same head that was on the X-Wing Luke. And I'll put them together for a comparison. Yeah, it looks like that's probably the same head. Hair's painted a little differently. Skin tone is slightly different, but it looks like it's probably the same head. And this is my favorite sculpt of Luke's head out of the Black Series so far. I just like it, like the way this one looks more than the others. As you can see, they're pretty close to the same height. Looks like Stormtrooper Luke is just a tiny bit taller, but he's really close. And there's Han Solo in Stormtrooper Disguise next to Luke. Oh, it reminds me of another thing that's different about his suit. It's the same as on Han's, is he's got that thing on his neck. However, it seems like that's actually sculpted onto Luke, though. On Han's, it's like they actually put a separate piece on because they use the exact same body as the other stormtroopers, whereas Luke's has some new sculpting to his. Now, just like the other stormtroopers, the articulation is limited in some spots, but really good in others. Like really good at the knees, got the double joint, but the part that's bad, the part that's limited is up here. And it seems like maybe Luke's even a little more limited than the regular stormtrooper body, because that leg can go out. it gets a little bit stuck. But Luke seems to get stuck even more, I don't know. And the arms are pretty much the same. It's got the double joint, but it's hard to use a double joint at the elbow because this armor kind of blocks it from going any further. And the armor slightly blocks it, well, more than slightly blocks the shoulders from going up all the way. But that's okay, you kind of expect that. Torso's pretty good, but it's a little less than the other Stormtroopers because it just, you can see there's a lot more area that it can move around there on a regular Stormtrooper. And the head articulation's pretty good, as most of the Black Series figures are. So, oh yeah, and the ankle, the really good ankle articulation. You know, I did that Han review and I thought they all spun down here, but apparently they don't. Does he spin? No, he does. Yeah, some of them spin down there. Now here's a comparison of Luke and Han's helmets, and they are different sculpts. This one here is Han's. I guess I put that over in front of him. This is Han's, and this is Luke's. As you can see, Han's looks a little bit taller and more narrow, and Luke's is a little more wider and looks a little closer to the actual Stormtrooper helmets. Another way you can tell they are actually different sculpts is by looking inside, because Luke has those little tabs, which I guess are to fit his head, so his hair and his head must be smaller than Han's, because Han doesn't have any tabs. There they are looking at each other. Yeah, Luke's helmet doesn't really want to go on Han's head, it doesn't fit. His hair is just too damn big. Han's helmet's a little oversized for Luke. So the only other thing that Luke comes with is the blaster, which is basically the same blaster the other Stormtroopers come with, and that Han comes with, except that Han has this little silver thing painted on his. Well, that was my review of the Star Wars Black Series 6-inch scale Luke Skywalker in the Stormtrooper Disguise. I think he's a really cool figure. His articulation is limited in spots, just like the other Stormtroopers, but it's still pretty good, and I'm really glad they actually made him shorter than the other Stormtroopers. They could have just copied the same body and said, screw it. But that's really awesome that they added that little touch and made him shorter. And I like that he comes with his little communicator that he talks through a lot in those scenes where he's wearing that outfit. And I like the removable helmet. And I don't know, I just really like the figure. He looks really awesome standing next to Han Solo in a Stormtrooper Disguise. Another cool thing is if you just stick the helmets on them, you can actually use them as extra Stormtroopers and make it look like you have even more. So that's awesome. Well, this is Mr. Evilcheese. Thanks for watching and goodbye.
Aren't you a little short for a Stormtrooper?
I'm not that short. Come in here, guys. See, I'm shorter, but I'm just a little shorter. And aren't you a little naked for my sister?
Sister, what the hell are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't even know why I said that. Never mind.
Oh, damn it, man. You see them other pictures there? Why don't you click on one of them to see the video? Or you could subscribe, Nate. Oh, damn.